Hello once again, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, thank you, of course, to our sponsors that help us bring this to you for free each and every week on whatever platform that you listen. Thanks to Angelo's Pizza. They provide pizza for us at our live events that we can get to you. And, of course, they take care of us once in a while here while we're eating. Some of our guys apparently get engaged at their restaurant. All sorts of things happen at Angelo's. So make sure you check them out in beautiful Lakewood, Ohio on Madison Avenue for their award-winning pizza and so many other fine dishes that they offer. Thanks to Pollyanna DIY, who handles some custom memorabilia needs for us, and they do some awesome t-shirts as well as other work. So check out Pollyanna DIY. And thanks to Smart Mark Video for handling all of our video needs. They are there to record the live events so you can watch them back if you attended or watch them for the first time on DVD or MP4 at smartmarkvideo.com as well as smvod.com. And when we talk about MP4s or streaming in general, of course, we want to thank independentwrestling.tv. Sign up now using the code ABSOLUTE and get a 20-day free trial. Check out all sorts of AIW archives that are constantly rotating, as well as other independent wrestling promotions.
Yeah, use that promo code, too, because we get a little kickback.
Yeah.
It helps us out.
That's how we know.
Building that portfolio.
That's how we know it's working. Then you guys are signing up for us is by you using that promo code. So make sure that you do. And
don't use anybody else's promo code. Just use ours. Absolute.
Only absolute. Not absolutely, just absolute. So, that being said, we get into this week's episode. We are joined by the six-figure man, the Duke.
What's up?
And Maserati Wes Barkley.
Yes, sir.
As always, AIW owner John Thorne.
Hello.
And my name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts. And on this week's episode, we are still recapping the J-Lit weekend, and we are talking about day 2. Specifically, the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament, and that opened up Saturday during the day, afternoon show.
Yeah, these afternoons come quite early.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
You know, it always looks good on paper until you realize you should probably
You got to be disciplined.
You should probably be at the building by like noon, and it's 7 a.m. and you haven't gone to sleep yet.
Yeah. You're like,
That's when you get up. You get up at 11:45. You get yourself some chicken and noodles, maybe a nice omelet from Bob Evans.
Oh, the chicken and noodles is great.
And you go to the building.
Did you do the Bob Evans stop before heading over to the building?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Did you make it?
I might have went to Bob Evans.
You did.
You did.
Did I go to Bob Evans? I might have.
I thought you said you went with some people and they didn't like it, and I was flabbergasted when you told me.
Oh yes. Yeah, some people
because
like
everybody fucking loves Bob Evans, and if you don't, you're wrong.
There was something on that menu for everyone. You would think.
I like to think so.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Some meatloaf, daddy.
Yeah, Bob Evans is a J-Lit tradition. You gotta hit Bob Evans on the J-Lit Saturday morning if you got time.
Well, that's because it used to be, and it's actually. I was going to say it's down the street from the old place we stayed at, but there's actually one right next to the Hojo.
Yeah, I didn't stay at the Hojo.
Not right next to, but very close.
I got myself into my own bed by I think 7. But then even though you're so tired, you're also like so wired about like the show and like all the like you're getting just like blasted with information. Like Savio Vega is telling you good stories and Kid Cash is telling you good stories, and then
your phone's blowing up.
You're hearing all this other stuff, and then you got fucking Kenny Dykstra and Mikey flying in and like pretty soon, and then it's like there's so much stuff to worry about. And you got to work like Swoggle and MJF had to fly out. So it's like. I got to my bed and like I slept for a little bit, but it's just like there's just too much going on.
Like a kid on Christmas is what you're saying.
It kind of is. It is a similar feeling, but it's like it's also stressful. But it's like you're just anxious to be like, okay, like here we go, like we got to do it all over again. Now we got to do 2 in a row and 2 live, and the tag tournament show was. Those tickets were really low, you know what I mean? So, like, you're worrying about that. Like, is there going to be enough people there, like, you want it to look good. So yeah, I did not get much sleep, but I also didn't. I wasn't tired either. By the end of the night, because you get like second winds once, like of adrenaline once it starts going.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because we touched on it previously when we did Guido's Beer Bash. That was essentially the student debut.
Yeah.
Traditionally, that would take place on this show.
And which is why it was a little worrisome, because you get that kind of extra bump in tickets from the new, like the friends and family of the new students. I love talking like we're this very elite independent wrestling company, which I do think we are, but that we are not above trying to get the friends and family tickets in the door. You know what I mean? Like you have to. It's just the reality of running independent wrestling. So, that was a little worrisome, because traditionally, Wes Barkley is born that weekend.
Yeah, you could speak to that, right?
Mount Carmel,
because
baby.
Barkley Nation.
Rocking and rolling. They're still alive. They're still alive. Huge. Everybody.
About, and you saw it even in the guys that you had a match with and people that came out for them.
Yeah.
What's the fall off from debut match and now match 2?
I mean, you're not getting whole nation out anymore.
We were rocking 1 and 2, but then from then on, it was just kind of like
you get some here and there. Like,
and like I'm not saying like location's huge, but like Odeon's a right downtown spot, so it's like I wouldn't miss the Odeon show. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, Mentor's a little far," or "I don't really live by Parma," so it's like Lakewood hitters. But like all these students are from different places, but it's like the Odeon is like the happening spot. It's in the flats.
It's a central location.
Exactly.
I would have thought that the friends and family would have shown up because of that, but
for sure.
I don't know.
Well, it could have happened with
no,
the
they
Beer
did.
Bash show.
They did.
I mean,
not to jump ahead.
They did,
but
right?
There was a
Right.
lot of people. I saw a huge group of people
Chuck Stone
with
had a
Chuck
huge-
Stone
yeah.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Eric Taylor.
I didn't see
The Eric Taylor
the
crowd
merch
was
representation,
huge
but I saw a bunch of people with Chuck Stone T-shirts. I know that.
Yep.
At Guido's Beer Bash, the Eric Taylor crew was huge.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if they were or not for the Odeon show for this particular show.
So, typically we would, we would like to save that for the day show. You know what I mean? To kind of help, the Wes Barkley year. Like all those ticket sales and all the alleged beer sales that we did.
Off the books.
That funded the night show. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I think that's I could be mistaken, but I think that was the year that Adam Cole was there. Am I wrong, or was that a
It
different?
might
year?
have been the year before. Was that
Okay.
the year before?
I don't remember, but I know that we had something big. We had big stuff to pay for.
2 years ago.
What was that? 2018.
It was
I think
2017.
JB was.
It was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah. Okay. So
JB was.
Oh,
So Adam
JB
Cole was
trained
2
him,
years.
yeah,
So
he was with-
I don't remember what it was, but like I know that was an expensive J-Lit,
Right.
yeah.
and that helps. So yeah, like we did that show, the Guido show, because we wanted to try out this new venue, because when we booked it, we had not had a relationship with the Odeon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we were trying out these different things, and I would still love to go back to the Gold Horn if we could line something up. You know what I mean? Like schedule wise, but that we kind of blew our load, so to speak, on those ticket sales for that show, and that they helped that show quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I was a little concerned, like when you go through the pre-sale report, it's like, oh, like whatever. I think the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament, like the individual ticket sales for that show were like 3, like 3 tickets. So it's concerning.
Right.
Is there a heavy emphasis on it for you personally at all, because you put Biggins' name on it? So for you, is there a personal standpoint, or is it just? I mean, I know that's not just part of the weekend, but is there a point of pride for you? Like, hey, I put his name on this.
There is, but I also know that it's the Saturday afternoon is tough. But the thought is by doing tag teams, maybe that that's enough for people to
Yeah.
Something different,
see something different. And I tell people this all the time. Like Cleveland is not a big market, and what works in your market doesn't work in this market, and
Right.
It's constantly evolving and changing how things go in Cleveland. Like we've had J-Lits that are extremely successful. We've had J-Lits that are just total disasters. So you got to kind of play it by ear every year. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, do I want the Biggins show to be packed? Yeah, absolutely. Just like I want the JT show to be packed.
Right.
But, like it does not, neither show supersedes the other.
Sure.
Like I want it to be, and it's never really successful. A successful J-Lit weekend is a break even, like because we spend so much money on it. Like if we can break even, like that's really all I care about. It's more just about like, making, a Saturday night when it's all said and done, like everyone is proud and happy, and like, we're not like, fuck, like how are we going to pay for the next show?
It's hard to do 3 shows in a row.
For sure.
I mean, it's not, this isn't the Battle of Los Angeles.
Right.
It's in Cleveland, it's hard to do 3 wrestling shows in a row
100%.
like that and get them, 150, 200, 250 attended.
And I mean, the Indians were out of town, but they were playing in Detroit, so that's not that far away, for Indians fans. And there's so many other things that we have to go against, even though it is kind of a smaller market, big city.
There ended up being something else going on that weekend. I don't remember what it was.
There's some kind of like regatta race or something.
And then there was something across the flats, like the tequila thing, wasn't there?
Oh, there was some sort of Summerfest.
There was something happening downtown, I thought, at night.
I don't know. It seems like there was multiple things.
Right.
But Wes Barkley, let me ask you this. We'll get into your match momentarily.
We won.
Just going into it, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the debut of Rip City Shooters actually getting to tag together.
Sir.
Everybody's
Official.
seen you guys come out at certain points together, and you're running mates.
Yeah.
But you actually get to tag together.
Yes, sir.
How amped are you going into this day?
Oh, I was so hyped.
Did you talk to Razor Sharp before the day to get like some tips?
Razor City, he said the jerseys were in the mail. We got the jerseys at a later show. We'll talk about later.
Did he give you some
us
like
a pep talk?
tactical advice and stuff?
And if Razor's listening, shout out to Razor. Appreciate the advice you gave us.
All right.
I don't know about the Jollyville rules, but back to your question. Yeah, we'll get there. But your question, it was pretty sweet to finally tag together, and rock and roll. So.
Yeah, it's a home promotion, right?
Exactly.
This is it.
So
you guys been talking about this forever.
Yeah, because there was a time before we even were together that we picked up the tag team belts at the storage unit, and we just kind of made eye contact. You can connect the dots there, but
and this was the story long time coming. The story your training got pushed back due to an injury.
Yeah.
And prior to that, you guys had talked about teaming together.
Yeah.
So
are you turning this into some sort of redemption story, Steve Guy?
No,
Road to
just,
redemption.
All right.
An
The
excitement
Barkley
story for
experience.
Wes Barkley, I suppose.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get into the show though itself, and we open up with.
Can I say something for? Let me say something.
Let's not gloss over Steve Guy's Newt Rockney-esque fire up speech before we started.
Fired up.
Let's
awesome.
not gloss over that. Where'd that come
awesome.
from?
A lot of emotion. I love Chandler Biggins.
Same here.
A lot, man. And I wanted, as we sit here and we talk about how these day shows, things can be tough because we're stringing 3 shows together. I don't want the show to be glossed over, and I want it to be known for everybody watching and for everybody performing on it. Hey, man, this is what it's about. You bring the same fire and fight and energy that you would for every single show. I don't care that you were on the show last night. I don't care that you're on the show later tonight. This is here. This is now.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is just as important to Cleveland wrestling, to AIW, to us. And
I will say that was probably needed, because at this point, when you do this, I'm like, I have like mixed feelings for the Chandler Biggins show. You know, like I said, I'm very anxious and things like that going into it. But when it's like time for it, I was like in a very weird mood. And I think that a lot of people that were around for Chandler were also in a very strange mood because, you know, like JT has been a little bit longer, and you know there's so many guys that are in the tournament now that, you know, never even really knew him. There's only like a small collection of us that really knew JT. Mm-hmm. But for the Biggins show, a lot of the people had a personal relationship with him and knew him very well. And I think that, you know, and I could be wrong, but like I think some of us, like, it still is a little bit too new at times.
100%.
And you know, like I find myself in a very I don't want to be around anybody mood. Right when we went live, I was sitting in that green room all by myself, and I had no idea you were doing this speech, and like I was just like trying to avoid everybody. And, you know, I think that there were a lot of people that were kind of feeling that once it came to it. You know, it's like when you're going into it, you love doing this thing to, you know, share the memory of your friend. But when, you know, you boil it down and like you have to remember why you're doing it, it is a little unsettling, I think, for people, especially me. You know, I was like, I wanted to fast forward to get that show over, you know, and you know, his mom was there, and you know, her and I were having some conversations early in the afternoon. So it's just like that one is a little too close to home for, I think, a lot of us still, but at the same time, we still do have to do it. I feel, and it's like, it does help us with, you know, the grieving or healing process or whatever. But I was in a very like, I don't want to talk to anybody mood, like right when we went live. As soon as I found out that we went live, like I went and sat by myself, and then I didn't even realize that. I'd like looked around and I was like, there's nobody in this locker room. Like I didn't know that everybody was gathered around the ring. And
so Eric, Ryan, and I think Colin or Cheech maybe at some point had said something to me like, hey, are we going to go out there or whatever? And truth to be told, this was not supposed to happen on Fight TV or anything. But the guys were still just kind of arriving a little late and getting gear on, so we didn't end up getting out there and actually doing it until right in the start. That was all supposed to take place beforehand. But they wanted everybody to be out there, and it was like, hey, let's do it. Because night two, traditionally Pedro would, and I still did. We talked about JT and the history there a little bit. And I'd said something last year, but I just wanted to make sure that, hey, this is happening, that we talk about it. You know, to get personal, but try not to get too super personal. I have a brother that passed away years ago, and similar to Biggins, it was a lot of, I don't want to be forgotten was always the thing. And we celebrate that birthday every year, and it's just a huge raging party. And for me, this is Chandler's big raging party. And for the few years I got to be involved in AIW with him, John and Biggins, the three of us had our own little text thread that would go constantly every day, and so these guys became a part of my family. So, like John said, it is still very fresh and new, and I take that personally when I know that he wouldn't want to be forgotten.
Yeah, so. I don't envy anybody that had to perform, on this show especially. Like there are some people that have, the JLIT has meant quite a bit to them, and we'll get to that when we cover night two. But this one, I think, outside of the Spirit Squad, I think every single person had, has had a connection. So I think it was a little tough at first, but I think once we got going, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it was like we just needed that like little push, you know what I mean, down the hill, and then then it started to go.
Yeah,
because you said what was it like to go into this first tag match, and what I just said. But now that we're breaking it down, real deal, Holyfield. When I walked into the venue and stuff, I got pretty nervous though, and it's pretty much what you guys are saying, because I wanted to. I was kind of an autopilot, but I was also kind of nervous. And after that speech, I was really fired up. So I appreciate that. And
yeah,
it was awesome.
I was fired up. I give speeches sometimes, dude.
I'm not knocking
It's
it.
not always
I
comedy. No, I
didn't want to
appreciate-
gloss over it. That's all.
I
There it
appreciate
is.
that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank
For
you.
sure.
So we get into it. We get into the matches and production and young studs, and these guys come firing out. And this is a tandem where you knew these guys were just going to go balls to the wall because of who the four were.
Right,
Just
and
working this match
they
with
did.
each
You know,
other.
like Eric Ryan did some crazy ass dive to the floor. You know, just trying to kill his body.
Japanese arm drag missed, I think, to the floor.
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I know Eddie got hurt,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
calling it, you could kind of see when he did it because it was something involving. I don't know if
Something
it
with
was
his
if it
ankle.
was a coast to coast or
No, so
or
he actually
something.
breaks his ankle.
Damn.
Just he was
Well,
going.
he didn't break it.
Yeah, but he it's
thought
like
he might
it was
have,
like a
but
high sprain. or something
hindsight,
ends up being,
yeah,
but yeah,
hindsight, he didn't break
But
it.
so all it is he goes to give
It's a pile driver.
pile driver.
That's what it is. It's a
That's-
pile driver, and he slips.
Yeah.
Or
He just-
or he landed.
he just
when
shifted. It was
Yeah.
like he didn't have. I forget. I think it was Eric. He was giving it to or supposed to. So as he grabs him, I think he just didn't have his weight, and
Yeah.
then his whole body just kind of
But
shifts.
you could
and
see
the
it.
ankle just collapses
You could
on him.
see it.
Yeah, it looked gnarly in person.
Yeah,
but then
and-
he still gets up and does that coast to coast.
Yeah, well, 'cause he was-
flip that he does.
But
there.
you could tell about an hour later, 45 minutes later, he was sitting upstairs behind the commentary table without his boots on,
yeah.
in
Well-
serious pain because his
Right.
adrenaline wore
And
off.
you know, like this kicks me into, you know, it sucks the circumstance, but this kicks me into show mode after, you know, being in my funk, because I see that Eddie Only is hurt and I go, oh shit, we're doing a big angle for Absolution on the night show,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, now are we going to be able to do it?
Right. But they pick up the win, the production, and they move on.
And also they pick up the win. Yeah.
Yep. So that's the other part. Because now they've got to compete in the four-way final
Right.
later on in this show.
I believe
Thank goodness there's three of
Danhausen
them.
steps in.
He does. Yeah.
He does.
Which is pretty cool.
Love
Got
that
the whole-
Danhausen.
Yeah.
Got that Freebird rule
That's pretty
rocking
sweet.
with the production. Match 2, PME versus the Weird World.
Hey.
And
It's their turn.
it was their turn, and they made the Weird World look like $1 million.
I'm going to tell you what. I know I say it a lot on this podcast, but this might have been the best goddamn Weird World match I ever seen.
I was
Really?
going to say that I
It
remember
is so good.
I don't
everybody-
remember it.
It is
was.
so good.
It was
Really?
good. It was. And
I could not believe it.
Wow.
I remember. I want to say Worldwide was thanking Philly and Marino afterwards. He felt it was good. I think
They were feeling it. I mean,
think you told them that. Did
so
a great job.
after Eddie Only's injury, I go to the commentary, which is like secondary guerrilla position at this point. You know, it's where Robles is editing, it's where the commentators are. You have a good view, and I watched this whole match. And as soon as it was over, I went right to the curtain from there,
do not
and I
remember.
told them that match was fucking awesome, and I was so proud of them. Because you never know how it's going to go with the Weird World, because they are not coming and training very consistently. PME has been hitting a lot out of the park, but it takes two, and in this case, it takes four to tango.
Right.
And man, this is one of my favorite matches of the entire weekend. Like
Wow.
it was, and maybe it's because you don't know in my head like what is going to happen with when these two get together. It's just kind of like, okay, let's play it safe. They're buddies, sort of booking, and man, they did good. I'm not even gonna lie.
I think a John Thorne quote at some point might have been, "PME, I don't know, man. Might be working the Weird World every time."
Yeah, I mean, we might have to run that one back
Is that a reward?
or a threat.
Threat. Yeah, exactly.
Or
No, please, no.
to get that good Weird World match. So then from there, PME does pick up the victory. They advance to the final. And then we go Jollyville Fuckets taking on the Rip City Shooters.
Yep. The official debut of the Rip City
official
Shooters.
debut of Josh Bishop and Maserati Wes Barkley.
Nice.
How'd it
And
go?
It was awesome, but what
you
happened
guys
at the
scoop
beginning?
up
What was that at the beginning? They
at
gave you a little
at
sheet
the
of
very
paper,
beginning,
something like that. Back to me being in autopilot mode. They said
Tom
it was
Dunn-
Jollyville rules. I
Tom
said,
Dunn
let's
had
go,
something. They
whatever
said,
that
"Yep,
means.
it's Jollyville.
Careful what you wish for.
It's under
Exactly.
fucking rules."
If you had your manager's hat on, you would have taken a look at that paper.
Tom
You don't
Dunn.
just,
Tom
you don't
Dunn
just
had
sign
My
things, Wes
working
Barkley.
boots on, yeah, my
come
working
on.
boots.
Tom
on.
Dunn had the paper, and he said, "Hey, it's relaxed rules,
Yeah.
No, he said Jollyville
or
rules.
fuck it rules."
Jolly
But there,
fucking
it
rules.
means it meant like no holds barred was one of
Yeah.
the rules. So, okay,
Well, there
We
was
went in the
there was
crowd.
an
Yeah.
extra rule that
And
no
then-
one knew about.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
He
it goes out.
doesn't specify. He
Does
just says
not. He just
He
tells
says
me,
fuck it rules.
fuck it
he just says
Rocking.
fuck it
So
rules.
say, all right, fuck it rules.
We started rocking.
So shooters pick up a pinfall.
It appears to be no holds barred,
Right.
falls count anywhere,
Yeah.
type deal.
Anything. Yeah.
Tom Dunn was just doing a little
Tom Dunn
relaxed,
Yeah, he was.
using his discretion.
Look, man, I'll take the blame. You gave me kudos here just a little bit ago, but I can accept my faults.
Take
I
'em
rang
right
the bell.
back.
I thought that you guys had won because I didn't see all
I was
the
on
rules either.
commentary. I thought
I thought it was
I was
I
calling
won.
it. I was hyped.
I go,
Go,
Bishop,
Rip
let's
City,
go,
Rip City
dude.
Shooters to the finals.
Tom
I was
That's
Dunn-
what I told JB.
Tom Dunn calls me over, and for the
said,
first
"Bro, you
time,
won."
I actually saw the sheet, and he said,
Yeah.
no, right here,
Yeah.
2 out of 3 falls. I was like, oh,
That's
Well,
some shady doings
all
right
right,
there.
all right then.
Then I had a one-way ticket to Pound City, so that
So-
knocked me into next week.
Yeah.
There was one, and then JB.
Then cannonball on JB.
Yep.
And
That
then-
was not what we expected. I mean, we got bamboozled. What's
was,
new for
we
the
got
shooters?
hoodwinked.
Yeah, we got hoodwinked, exactly. We were cheated right down.
I mean, that's some veteran savviness there.
No,
I guess by the
that was cool to
fuckheads.
be in there with them, though. And, like you said, they went to the finals and tore it up in the finals. But
How was that pounce?
I'm still feeling it, man. I'm still feeling that
A little
bounce.
jittery still.
Little
Looking over his
yeah.
shoulder.
You might-
for sure.
You might land next year in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm still in the air right now, dude. That was cool, though.
You're gonna run it back. Fuck it, rules sometime.
Fuck it. Who knows?
Now I have a question for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Is there such a thing as Rip City rules?
Oh,
And if not, will there be
There-
shortly?
there might
since I
be
just
now.
gave you the
Patreon
idea.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Patreon exclusive.
Could be
for those
now.
Rules. Yeah, we're onto something, you know?
Yeah.
But it was cool because we were brawling in the crowd. That's pretty much Rip City rules. You know, we like to get our
Like it by
hands
the
dirty
rails?
and- yeah.
yeah,
That's more JB, but you
Yeah.
know,
yeah.
allegedly.
Gotta love when the crowd's there to catch you. That's
Yep.
you, Wes Parker.
Something.
Something like that.
Word.
I mean, I meant literally for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
we'll get
no
there.
problem.
We'll get there.
A few shows later.
Yeah, I got hit with the fuck it hubcap though. Fuck it.
You
round.
did?
Yeah, but it's not on film. So did I really?
Yeah,
know.
maybe not. Maybe not.
Took it
When
to
you
the
get those,
dome.
you get
I
those
was-
tag matches. Sometimes you miss some shit.
For
yeah.
sure, especially on the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get thrown over the guardrail. I get hit with this hubcap. I'm concussed or something.
problem
who
is
knows,
that you
allegedly
guys
eyes
are-
are crossed.
The hard cam's above you so much. You guys
see
are
it.
underneath it.
Yep.
Yeah. Gary's shooting the other stuff.
Yeah.
This is why we need more people to come to J-Lit Weekend, folks. We need to afford a third cameraman.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say about J-Lit Weekend. It's like, dude, these shows are so stacked, though. You know, and I'm not trying to go into Wes Barkley hard sell mode, but it might just happen right now.
All right.
But it's like
Can't turn
you
it
have
off, bro.
12 matches the first night, 24 of the best competitors in the United States or overseas and whatnot.
Yeah.
Who knows? 24 of the
23 and
best.
Dr. Dan.
So 24 of the best wrestlers, whatever. And then Saturday, you're getting a tag team tournament of the best tag teams in the world as well.
Yeah.
And Spirit
Absolutely.
Squad. When are you going to see Spirit Squad, the Rip City Shooters, Hornswoggle, Savio Vega, Filthy Tom Lawler, Eric Stevens,
Kid Cash.
Kid Cash,
Big Twan.
Big Twan,
Big
the Rip
Twan.
City Shooters again,
Yeah.
and the Rip City Shooters again, all in the same
Oh,
weekend.
man.
Come on.
Triple shot?
We did.
That's a weekend. That's a weekend.
Get your tickets now, 2020.
Well,
Right?
well,
Memorial
they're
Day
not on sale
2020.
yet, but
2020.
yeah.
Little Guido.
You mentioned the Spirit Squad. They're in
Yeah.
the next match.
There it is.
Kenny
Segway
and Mikey
Jones.
taking on 2 Infinity and Beyond. And it's interesting they have 2 Infinity and Beyond in the tournament because they are the tag team champions, but they want to be in this tournament. And of course,
Steal away that free shot.
if
Right.
you win, then you get a free shot at the
That's
titles.
what I always liked about them.
Absolutely.
They're always thinking.
By the way, Kenny, shredded.
So
I
shredded.
was
So
just gonna say,
Shredded.
unbelievable shape, that dude. How old is he?
Not
His
old.
30s?
He was
Yeah.
young,
30s,
right?
maybe?
He was
Yeah,
young.
he was
when
really
they-
young when
they
he-
had their
yeah.
big run
He
there.
was like 22, I think.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
He is
Sheesh.
shredded.
Yep.
Hey, he's getting ready for a run, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I think that little SmackDown gig that they had, got him motivated a little bit.
wish you had that
he's a
guy in
beast.
Alpha Beta Duke fraternity, huh?
I don't know, man. You make everybody look bad.
Wasn't he a
Yeah,
pledge?
could be.
He should have been.
I
Should've
think
been.
you got. You remember?
He's 33.
Yeah. Well, I say 35. I guessed. That's close.
Yeah, it's a good guess, though.
Look at Thorne, instant fact checker. Snopes.Thorne over here.
Went to the
Google.
research department. Google. But they, you know what? Also, very nice
Whistles?
guys
Yeah.
to talk to, be with.
Yeah, they're cool.
Zero problems.
Did not
with
really
them or
did
anything.
not really care to counter the heel tactics of Cheech and Colin with some babyface antics. They just wanted to do their thing.
So this was the match where they come out. They got the
Some of their
whistles.
stuff was getting babyface reactions.
It would get some decent, like Mikey was when he kept spelling his name and stuff like that. I mean, it was
weird though.
it was weird, but it was good.
It was weird
I mean, it was
because
entertaining as hell. I'll say
work-
that much.
They
That was
work
good.
heel everywhere they go.
I know, well,
they're like, oh wait, we're babyface.
Because like Kenny comes out and does his typical,
Why wouldn't the Spirit Squad be babyfaces?
I know. He
Come
just
on.
does the typical anti, Cleveland, and
Yeah.
because he's shredded, tells everybody they're fat.
right.
Well,
And then-
he said they were because Chuck Stone's family was yelling at them.
Yeah, they were rattled.
They were
Kenny.
going in.
They
They
had
were going
Kenny
all in
rattled.
on Kenny Dykstra, man.
And Cheech and Colin come out and basically do the same thing, and
Right.
the crowd was confused for a second.
Yeah.
and then they all kind of went, fuck it, rules. Let's just go do whatever.
Just do what we want to do.
Different kind of fuck it rules,
Yeah,
but
back to back.
same
It was a
thing.
weird one.
It was a weird one, but it was entertaining as hell.
It really was. It was very entertaining.
I don't remember how much I paid these guys, but I don't know.
Worth
it was a weird one.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. It was very entertaining.
It was fucking entertaining, man.
Like it's just the way the chips fell. You know what I mean? To where like maybe they would have worked better with like,
PME or somebody.
then we wouldn't have got that Weird World Classic though. But
Yeah, you're right.
Classic.
so I wanted it to be the same four teams that did Slumber Party Massacre in the final. So like
Yeah.
that's the way I kind of had to space out the matches.
Why, what was your thinking behind that?
It's just a rematch from our last pay-per-view.
Just to have that rematch.
Yeah.
Give him a little more time.
Right.
So to Infinity and Beyond, they do win. They advance to the final. Then we hit intermission. We get a little, photo op with the Spirit Squad inside the ring.
Yeah.
In-ring impromptu action there. And,
I do remember an awful lot of double bye poses during the Spirit Squad match.
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
I do remember that. Well, even like Mikey was doing it.
Mikey
Mikey was entertaining. I don't know if he wasn't
that
shredded.
whistle.
He wasn't shredded.
He was
like
Mikey
doing
had
the
that
swimming
whistle.
thing.
Yeah.
Doing that swimming thing.
Oh yeah.
It was a weird
He
thing.
was fired up. He was fired up.
They brought it. I mean, let's
They
be
worked-
honest.
oh,
They
yeah.
fucking brought it.
They worked hard.
They were. Yeah.
It
Curtain
was
to
just
curtain,
so-
man.
It's like when you're in your J-Lit hangover mode, like that was a
They
weird.
were
that was
turned
a-
up to 11 for
Yeah.
sure.
They were not in jail at Hangover.
No, they were not.
They were
Jumping jacks and
fucking
shit.
ready to go, and it was just like a weird experience.
Yeah. That was cool.
They're nice guys though.
Super nice guys. They're very, very nice. I remember going up to them and I was like, "You guys want any music? Because we're gonna play the Spirit Squad music." They're like, "Nah, man, no music. We'll just we'll interrupt you." I'm like, "All right, you want an intro?" "No, we'll do all of it." I'm like, "Oh, all right."
I'm getting the feeling they just didn't trust you, Steve Guy.
Ooh.
No, it was very much like, they're like, "Yeah, we blow the whistle and we're really obnoxious and we do them." Like, that works for me, guys. Thanks. And that was it. Easiest intro I ever had to do.
There
Loved
you go.
it. So then we roll into, this was a classic at a different promotion, at Developmental. But
It exceeds, I think, the first one.
it
Except-
exceeds it,
I think so.
except
What
for
match?
one moment. Manders
which
versus
kept-
Twan.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
This
gee.
is sweet.
Manders Twan.
I thought it was cool. Big hard hitting match.
It was a
Big,
big, hard-hitting
hard-hitting
match, but it got dangerous at a couple moments.
That's
did.
that all Japan
A
style.
couple head
too.
drops.
All
They're doing
Japan.
it all
just
Japan.
one head drop.
King's
Twan's
Road.
Road. Twan's Road.
Twan's Road.
Twan Street.
Now, I will say, if you watch this back,
Twan Street style.
Yeah.
Eddie
That's funny, dude.
Kingston on commentary.
Oh, he was on
for
mine
this
too. He was a
match.
trip.
He saw the
Just-
first one, so
Price, yeah, he did. We showed up that day. We showed up, but worth the price of purchasing this show.
Yeah.
just for Eddie's commentary on this.
So I thought-
beat the shit out of each other. Beat the shit out of each other.
I thought the developmental one was better, actually.
Ooh.
You like that one better?
It was crisper, I think.
I thought that the uncrispiness made this one better.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sense of danger.
Yeah, it was real.
There was no sense of danger.
There
There was
was
legitimate danger.
Twan
Can't
didn't even
kill Twan, dude.
Twan didn't even know he got dropped on his head. He'd come back, yeah, I'm okay.
Twan, yeah.
And then he said, then the next day though, he checked on him. He had a big old headache. But man, Twitter loved it. I know that.
Twitter.
I did my Twitter search, and
Twitter.
they loved
Fuck
it,
Twitter.
man.
Fuck
Twitter.
They loved it.
Someone keeps believing it. Twitter.
They did. Look, they also loved the Duke 1279 from night one. So
Well,
he got a lot of love
And night 2.
until.
Dun, dun,
yeah.
nah.
early on, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, hard hitting.
That was a cool match. That
Hoss
was,
match
that was
right
a sweet
there.
match, honestly.
Yeah, they brought it. They definitely brought it, but they
They knew that they were on there for a reason.
Tighten
But
up
see,
a little
that's
bit.
something else too about these night 2 or day 2. Sorry, these day 2 shows, even the night 2 too. But it's
Yeah.
just like, you know, it's got the theme of the tag team tournament, but there's always this other spice in there, these other flavors that are,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that you're
Absolutely.
not just gonna get at a regular AIW show. I
You're-
don't know.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Then we go into a 8-man. Is it 8-man? 10-man.
What
Tim
happened
Don's
next?
led team with Tim
oh,
Don's
8-man, I think.
Parker
4 on
Pierce.
4.
Yep. Dr. Dan teaming up with Brian Carson once again. The reunion that everybody wanted. Excellence personified, along with professional Parker Pierce and Tim
P-double.
Donst, taking on
Triple.
the latest graduating class: Arthur MacArthur, Chuck Stone, Eric Taylor, and Mikey Montgomery, now known as the Bitcoin Boys. But
What do we got? Is it 4 or 5?
this was before
4 on
that.
4?
Four
I
on
always
four.
like
4
when the
on 4.
new students
8-man tag there.
tag together.
Yeah.
You know, like we did that. That was cool.
You guys got to be you guys you guys are in the
You guys
trenches
supposed to be-
together.
Supposed to be a brotherhood.
We've never lost.
It's a nexus, brother.
You guys are in the trenches together.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Hashtag,
But yeah, it's a good.
hashtag core.
So this is just
Exactly.
Tim Donst trying to take his aggression out.
I will say that there is an unreasonable. There's been an unreasonably amount of the core T-shirts I've seen throughout the AW school over the years.
That's why I said it.
Lots of the core T-shirts.
There are.
Random.
Yeah. You could-
Random.
Any given day that you're at the training school, you see a core T-shirt.
I ain't wearing one.
Well, you'd have to be at
Who
the training
knew?
school.
Who knew?
Uh,
You know.
I don't know. Not me.
So, Tim Don's trying to take out some aggression on the new graduating class.
He gets a fucking misfit clan together with to team up with himself.
Gets the misfit
The
clan
land,
together.
land
Donnie.
of misfit graduates.
Yeah.
Dr. Dan's somehow the key to that collection of people. His former tag
The
partner,
land of the
Brian
misfit
Carson.
graduates. Yeah, that is. He's got a
Parker
whole
Pierce.
gaggle of them.
Yeah. And then he just continues to beat down these young kids after
Yeah.
the match ends. And then Dom Garini's got to come in and
Santa
save his
Claus
kids.
shows up and saves the day.
Save his kids, yeah.
Sends,
I
sends
thought this
those
was a-
3 back to the island with Tim Donst.
Yeah, I thought
This was chaos as you would expect in an 8-man.
I thought this was a
AIW.
good experience for, especially for the new guys, and got guys like Brian Carson and Parker Pierce on the show that
Yeah.
normally aren't getting on the shows as much these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody got involved, and
I will say this match. Another good thing about the show is I get to see some of the stuff. I said this match I went right down to Parker Pierce. I said, man, you got to get motivated, man. He looks good in there. Parker Pierce has all the tools.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
yeah,
he's got all the tools.
They got out of the bar at 11:30 in the morning.
That's the problem.
Triple P, man.
dropped a lot of weight
Professional now.
lately. Yeah, maybe he's
rocking
under
with
that
DCR,
Dr. Dan
man.
tutelage.
You saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parker Pierce. He's got all the tools, man. He's just got to apply himself and put it together. And
Well,
get
now
out
that
there.
he's got the 3 principles, maybe he'll.
Let's hope. Dr. Dan.
What's better, the 3 principles from Dr. Dan or the 3 seashells from Demolition Man in the bathroom?
Hey.
I don't remember a lot about Demolition Man.
You don't remember? That's how they go.
I remember
they use
Taco
the
Bell
three-
being
the
a big
three
sponsor.
They use the 3 seashells in the bathroom instead of toilet paper.
I just know
I think
know
that's probably worth more than the
Wesley
3 principles.
Wesley Snipes had that bleach job going on.
That's right.
Do you think that all of the The cash that Parker Pierce got being a part of the big collection of Duke money is now just wasted on his sessions with Dr. Dan?
No, because
Or do you think it's money well spent?
Parker Pierce took every check I gave him and went right to the bar for dart tournaments.
So it was already
and,
He's doing well.
and got annihilated.
Okay, never mind that.
No, it got
Oh yeah.
drunkenly annihilated. I don't know how he did in the dart tournaments.
So the money was already
Yeah,
wasted.
money was already gone.
All right.
Actually, he just had me forward it to the bar to give him a tab. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So the money, like Parker Pierce at the time, wasted. So
Oh, way to tie it all together there, Steve.
nice.
Guys.
there it is. Then we go.
You're good for one or two every podcast.
That's really good. That's really good.
So then we go into the absolute championship match. PB Smooth never getting the opportunity to try to reclaim the prize, gets it on this show. Pretty Boy Smooth taking on the champion Tom Lawler.
1-on-1.
Tom Lawler.
What was
going
that?
1-on-1.
2 months later? 3 months later?
April into
So,
June.
PB won the belt off Hot Sauce Tracy Williams in Akron in November.
February.
January, March.
No,
or March, April. Sorry. I got hit in the head a couple times.
Two months later.
April
He
is when
loses it.
Slumber Party Massacre
Yeah.
happened. He lost the belt. And
Tom
then Filthy
Lawler.
Tom's been rocking and rolling ever since. So now, June, he
Yeah.
gets his rematch.
Yeah, but it's like 3 shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
I don't
tie it
know.
all
We
together
put
because
a
I
lot
was
of
thinking
shows in
about
there.
that the other day.
That was our stretch where we had 12 shows over
Well, that
3
was,
months
yeah.
or something
yeah.
crazy, but yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there to get a little history going.
Yeah, defended it.
But now it's his first singles rematch.
Defended it successfully against MJF.
So I think this is Tom's first defense because he missed. Or no, he defended against Mance in May. Never mind.
Yes, he had defended against Mance in May, and
Now PB Smooth.
that was it. Now PB Smooth. Yeah, not again in April. He missed. Yeah, because April. What was our later show?
Yeah,
Gauntlet.
he missed that because he was in France.
Yes. So he
I almost
defends
won the
it
gauntlet.
successfully against PB. You almost won it.
I almost did.
Oh, I don't
Close.
think so. That's not how that went.
You lasted 2 seconds longer than I did.
All right.
I wasn't in it. So.
Oh, ego coming out.
Shit. Might have broke a record though. Who knows?
There was a
But yeah,
zinger-
back
there's a
to
zinger there, but I was just gonna keep that one to myself.
Oh, don't hold
Yeah.
back, Steve. Guy.
Well, just
Patreon.
lasted 2 seconds longer than the Duke did. It's
Let's
you're
keep it going.
dirty.
Let's
Oh,
keep
I
it
see.
going.
I see what you're doing there.
Thanks.
you're welcome. So anyway, Tom
Steve Guy
Lawler,
working blue because it's late.
Tom
on a
Lawler
podcast
successfully defends the title against PB Smooth. And how was this one for you, John Thorne? I know you were critical of.
I thought
PB
this
and
was
defenses
good. You know, I
previously.
think this was the kind of match PB needed to have. Obviously, he came up short, but I thought that they worked pretty well together. And it's also a different style for Tom Lawler to work as well. So
Yeah, it's not every day you work an almost 7-foot guy. So
right. So I
Yeah.
thought that it was a good experience for both of them.
yeah, and you're right. I mean, PB, as of late, not a lot of one-on-one opportunities for him, but he did well. I like this one actually.
And a lot of people forget. PB is still not that long into his wrestling career. you
Yeah.
know. So I think maybe 2 years, if that.
Yeah, 2, maybe 3. Yeah. So from there, we roll into the final. It is the production. It's the Jollyville Fuckets. It's To Infinity Beyond and PME. The production called The Audible, and we have Derek Director and
Danhausen.
instead.
Nice.
So a little bit of a difference than what
Right.
took place at Slumber Party Massacre, obviously.
Well, due to
Just
injury.
right there, due to the injury. And right away, To an Infinity and Beyond gets thrown out. Dave the Potato
See ya.
Yeah, I thought
doing his job.
like
Short
when,
fused potato.
when I envisioned this, I thought that would maybe happen a little bit later on, but I thought that the finals could have been executed a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Still good, but I think that To Infinity and Beyond getting DQ'd would have got a bigger reaction if they were going for a little bit.
A little bit longer. Maybe if they were like the second team out instead of the first.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So, but you live and you learn.
Yeah. but it was still everybody pretty entertaining as hell.
PME obviously wins, and the place goes nuts.
Yeah.
Place erupts. They go crazy. Long time coming. PME
Yes, sir.
now getting the opportunity to cash in if they want, because the big thing is
they stepped out of their comfort zone and grabbed the microphone as soon as the match was over.
Made
and
it known right
they
then and
didn't.
there.
They weren't hiding behind anything. They were telling.
Nope.
They told Infinity Beyond right there, "We're coming for a absolution."
If you were managing them, would you have told them to wait, or would you have said, let it be known when you want to make this challenge?
Well, it probably would have been. We would have made that decision. When we win, we'll do it at absolution amongst ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, PME always wants to pop the crowd. So yeah, you tell them there, you pop the crowd because you send them home happy because they're off. Not only did they win the belt or win the shot, they said we're coming for 8 absolution. Everybody goes wee, and everybody's happy. If it was the other side of the coin and PMA didn't give a shit what the crowd thought, then you don't tell them.
So maybe not a good business decision on their point, but that's not necessarily what they're.
It's probably a
in it for.
good business decision for them because they're going to sell tickets because people are going to want to see it.
Okay.
But it's not a good strategy move.
Okay.
Because now Cheech and Colin have
They're ready
5 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it is to prepare.
Right.
All right.
Where they could be preparing in secret and the day before go,
Bang.
we're coming.
Or
for
day
it.
of.
Or day of, yeah.
Yep. Just thought I'd get that managerial perspective there
Yeah.
with two of them sitting here. You guys got those licenses.
I'm just trying to
Yes.
soak up what Duke's saying.
You're still under the learning tree here, huh?
Exactly.
Okay. Very good.
Exactly.
Well, so PME wins it. They make the challenge, as Duke said, and we head off into the night of.
Yeah, we got to do the quick, turnover, and
I
Get out,
made it down to
everybody.
Lindy's in between these shows. I forget what I
I
had.
went
I had
home
a
and
chicken
changed.
sandwich.
you didn't have that steak, huh?
You got to go
No.
home.
I went home and changed.
I
Took an Uber.
I
I remember
did.
I kept telling you,
I was-
and you're like, dude, you told me you were leaving like 15 times.
You
dude.
did.
Get
You
the
told me
fuck
you
outta
were-
here.
I
I
definitely
was
did
just
not go
so-
home.
I was captured by photograph by Worldwide at Lindy's at the bar.
Wow.
He was having a steak at the table.
He's usually the one captured by photograph out in the wild.
And yeah, it was a blurry though. It was just like Bigfoot. It wasn't. I wasn't
Could've
sure if it was
been
me
you,
yet,
yeah.
but I can confirm it was me.
We always see the mysterious worldwide photos.
Yeah.
But there's a mysterious Duke photo.
Nice.
What was our turnaround time? Do you remember?
I think it was an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. So
Yeah, it was real quick.
kind of make that happen, and it's gonna be longer for you guys though, because now you get a week turnaround time. Soak this all up. Any final thoughts on the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament, your gentlemen?
I think there's a lot of stuff on there that people
Yeah.
should seek out.
I was going
It's
to say,
very
don't
good.
sleep on the show.
There's some entertaining things. This is why when we have shows, you should come to them.
Yeah.
Because
There you go.
there's always something we're seeing. We've always got people like you're probably never gonna see the Spirit Squad again.
Right.
Probably not here. And they killed. Apparently you see the greatest Weird World match of all time.
Yeah.
Yes.
NX
apparently.
Twan.
You see NX Twan
Hot off
literally
the TV.
almost snap his neck and somehow manage to continue.
Go to Smart Mark Video and buy that $30 combo pack.
Yeah, just check them all out.
Let me ask this,
Especially those that don't live in the area.
do you think, because we did well on Fight TV and people bought that whole weekend package, and people definitely did watch this show, does that help for the future?
I don't know.
Of maybe of this
It helps
weekend,
if we're
do
on
you
Fight
think?
TV again. It helps
I
people
mean,
want to buy the next show.
obviously, we're gonna get more. We get more of a cut from a DVD sale versus the stream. There's all sorts of different ways it breaks down how you get paid out when you do streams, but I don't know if it's gonna help or not. But these shows definitely need to be seen by
Well,
more people.
So what I mean is, do you think a free publicity, for lack of better terms, because you got people tweeting it out, using the hashtag, and people just talking about it on social media as it's going, or even after the fact, who have watched it at this point, and Fight TV kind of open up more eyes during the course of that weekend than we usually would have on us. Does that help for next year now, when people are like, oh yeah, don't sleep on this day show?
Maybe
How can it not help?
right?
If it's a good show, which by all accounts it was a solid show,
Yes, sir.
how can it not help?
There you go.
The problem is there's so much good wrestling every single weekend. It's hard. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like a year from now is like 10 years in wrestling years. You know what I mean? Wrestling years are like dog years. You know, like so much stuff happens every week.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God, I'm so old. If that's the case, I'm even older than I thought I was.
Yeah.
God.
Well, that goatee looks pretty fresh and young.
Nah, it's got gray all over it. Everybody randomly, like, people will
I was gonna say,
periodically
look good.
tell me that I'm dyeing it or something, and I'm like, dude, there's all sorts of gray in there. I don't know.
I'm getting some gray in mine, but you know, I'm scared that if I did the little fucking just for men, I just get it in this one little sideburn spot.
The only time I
Yeah.
ever tried that stuff, a little behind the curtain, was a couple years ago. I went to Comic-Con. This is
Under the
probably
rug?
5 years ago. I had a goatee, and I shaved it into a Hogan mustache before I left.
Nice.
Oh, right.
And I tried to find. You cannot find blonde,
Mustache dye.
like just for men dye. You can't. It's like the best one they have is like light brown, and it's not even close.
Right.
And I was just like, God damn it!
You gotta do the
Yeah, you gotta
fucking
do the old
peroxide.
peroxide.
I tried. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't want to burn my face off, so I was just kind of like,
What's the old pony boy trick?
yeah. So I had to go with just a regular dark colored mustache, Hogan mustache, and I was disappointed.
Oh, well, you know, I think that's a good note to end it on right there.
Sure is.
Tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, go ahead. It's available at Smart Mark Video by the entire weekend. And make sure you watch the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament. $30, right? You get all
Yeah.
3 shows.
On Smart Mark Video.
Can't
yes.
beat
Smart
that.
Mark yeah.
Hit us with the hard sell, Wes
I
Barkley.
think, I think it might be a little bit more for the Blu-ray, but it's also available on Blu-ray
There you go.
Blu-ray, regular DVD. You do not want to miss these 3 shows.
for all your
MP4?
for all you high def perverts out there.
Get it digital.
I was
4K.
high def
Hashtag
purpose.
4K.
4K.
I don't know if it's in 4K.
I don't know about 4K.
Blu-ray.
No.
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Don't
But-
sleep on the show.
But make sure you grab it.
Betamax, whatever you need.
Whatever you
Yeah.
got. We
And,
Smart Mark will hook you up.
Tune in next week as we will.
Robles actually did talk about maybe we do a little small VHS release.
Laser disc,
Oh, that'd be sick.
anything you need, man.
Yeah.
We will wrap
Hidden
up
features, Easter eggs.
J-Lit Weekend then for Maserati Wes Barkley,
Hey.
the Duke,
Peace.
AIW owner John Thorne. My name's Steve Guy. We'll talk to you right here next week on The Card is Going to Change.